it today. All right. If you're not on my YouTube, then you can't see the cool intro video that's playing right now. We rise free. All right. Let's get started. Do you have a choice? And maybe I should have said, how do you get out of stuck, right? That's another way to think about it. And as I've been writing my memoir, this last year, but like really digging into the final editing for it in this month. And like as I read each of these different chapters, right now I'm in the chapter on, good morning, Lexa, hey. Right now I'm in the chapter about like when I made the decision to leave my life and the family and the group and everything that I'd grown up in, and to completely change my life, right? That's that chapter I'm editing right now. Thank you for the hearts. And that brings me to this concept is choice. Do we have a choice? And one thing we often, when we're in a really difficult situation or we're depressed, one of the reasons I made the choice to leave was because I was depressed, right? And I was like, this is not normal. I shouldn't be depressed, like I'm usually a pretty happy person. And so that was sometimes the pain is what you need to force you to change your life. And that's why numbing mechanisms that we use, right? Addictions, alcohol, marijuana, Netflix. There's lots of numbing mechanisms that we use that can actually be harmful to us, because even though they take away the pain temporarily, if we're in pain, it's because something is wrong. It's because something needs to change. Hi, Gabrielle. Hi, Katron. So, pain means change, right? If we haven't been taking care of our bodies, we haven't been eating healthy, we haven't been exercising right, we experience pain. Pain is illness. Pain is your body or your psyche like shaking you, like wake up, something is wrong. And so we ignore that to our own detriment, right? So what I realize is that oftentimes when we feel stuck, it's because we feel like there's no other options. We don't see any way out. And so what I like to do is, because this is one thing I like to do is say, sit down, take a piece of paper and write down all of your possible options, all of the possible things you could do. It could be as simple as like, a decision you're trying to make about which school to go to, or it could be as important as, completely changing your life like I had to do. But remember, whenever you're trying to make a decision like this, if you feel stuck, it's because you're not seeing all the possibilities. So I say if you only have one option, that's not an option, that's a trap, right? If you only have two, that's also not a choice. That's a dilemma, okay? You've only got two things, but it's almost never that, right? So look for three, look for a third option, look for a fourth, look for a fifth. Sit down and write down 10 different possibilities of other things you could do, stuff you could do with your life, of choices that you could make, of places you could go, right? You can sit down and write those things out. Think about them. What are they? What are possibilities for you? And I'll bet you would discover that if you force yourself to do that, and you don't like give up when your brain's like, oh, I can't think of it anymore, right? Don't give up when your brain tells you that. That's a trick. And just keep saying, no, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to keep writing down crazy, ridiculous stuff. And then eventually, if I write down 50 of those, a few of them might actually be a pretty smart idea. It might actually work, right? So that's what I do sometimes when I have to figure something out. It's a great little tool, a great little technique. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that you're not stuck. There's always an option. There's always another way. You just have to get your brain in the creative state when it can start thinking about more options. And if you're struggling to come up with options, then talk to other people. do some research, talk to friends, and get people to help you get ideas for options. Now, a lot of them might be stuff that you're like, well, I don't like the sound of that. That doesn't sound fun. I don't want to do that, right? And recognize if your brain keeps telling you no, 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 okay, to everything that people suggest. If your brain is saying no, no, no to everything people suggest, all the different possible options, there's something else going on that you need to address, all right? But at least, bring up options, throw out ideas, crazy ones, stupid ones, doesn't matter, get them all out there, and then you'll see you're not stuck. You do have choices. There are options out there. Not all of those options may be ones that you like. They might not be attractive. They might not be easy, right? But you'll see you have more options, and then you can start to move forward and make choices, right? You can only make choices when you know that there are options. Hey, Hackman. All right, so we're talking about options and choices, and how do you make choices, and how do you have to even see that there's that possibility that's out there. For so long, I didn't even see an option outside of the group and the family that I had been born into. I didn't really believe there were options for me outside of that. I thought I was stuck there. I thought, this is my life, this is where God has placed me, and this is what I've told is the right thing to do to be a good person, right? And I didn't realize there was a whole world of options out there that I never even looked at, right? So, so get out there, think about it. Go on YouTube, look at what people are doing with their lives. Think about stuff that you could do. And sometimes it's taking small steps and preparing the way ahead of you. Thank you, Luxar, for the hearts. It's preparing the way ahead of you, okay? Sometimes, if you have the ability to just, like when I left the group, right, I didn't have money. And so I made sure that I got a job. I made sure I found a job somewhere that I could go to, so I could fly to. I had a job. I had a way to make a little bit of money, because before that I never really made money, right? I needed a way to make a little bit of money to buy my ticket so I could fly back to America so that I could try to go to school, you see? So I thought about it. I planned it out. But once you make that choice, you will have much more power. Okay, you'll have much more power, and you won't feel stuck anymore. And then all the other stuff that you're trying to put in place as your plans, they will be easier. Okay? And if that's leaving a job you hate, right? Once you make the choice, I'm going to do that, you don't necessarily turn around and tell your boss I'm leaving tomorrow, right? You could if you have another option, but if you don't have another option lined up, I don't recommend it. Once you make the choice, then you can go out and you start interviewing, and you start researching, or you start looking online and seeing ways you might start your own business, right? And you might put those pieces into place for a year before you actually leave. And make sure that you've got something there, you've got some backup. I mean, that's what I like to do. There's other people that just whatever, now that I'm done, I'm gone, right? But for some of us who, want to have a little more security or protection, that helps. But just making the choice is already powerful enough, okay? So I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. I'm going to be going up to St. George tomorrow, so I might be just doing this on my iPhone, but I will see you guys all soon. Bye.